Greetings and welcome to Storytime with Mrs. Dixon. Growing up, I used to watch a show called Reading Rainbow. And on that show, LeVar Burton would always introduce the audience to a variety of interesting books. And that was one of the ways that I got interested in visiting my local library. Well, today's book was actually written by LeVar Burton. And in today's story, we have a mouse named Micah, and his father tells Micah the story of a brave little rhino who discovers that with the help of friends and family, compassion and love, he can get through anything. So today's story is called The Rhino Who Swallowed the Storm. Again, it was written by LeVar Burton and Susan Schaefer Bernardo, and it was illustrated by Courtenay Fletcher. Let's get into it. In the middle of the morning, Micah Mouse trembled under her blanket. A storm boomed outside her window. Rain crashed against the glass. Wind rattled the shutters. More than anything else, Micah was afraid of storms. A year before, a powerful hurricane had destroyed her home. "I'm scared, Papa," she said. "We are safe, Micah. The storm will pass soon," said Papa. "Would you like me to read you a story? I know just the one to help you feel better." Micah loved books, and Papa's gentle voice soothed in a way that made her forget all about the thunder. Papa opened the book and began. "Long, long ago, before there were words, animals roamed in bountiful herds. Little rhinoceros lived happy and free, exploring mountains and meadows, rivers and trees. His world was delightful and chock full of magic until out of the blue, the magic turned tragic. A storm swept through the valley, turning bright sky to black. A flash flood came raging, no time to react. Lost in the thundering, no time for wondering, chaos and lightning, fury so frightening, earth quaking, him shaking, water rumbling, him tumbling, raggedy, jaggedy, senseless calamity. The storm crashed through his world and tore it apart and took away everything dear to his heart. Rhino was stunned by the terrible scene, death and destruction all through the ravine. Enraged by the pain of such a great loss, Rhino acted without a thought to the cost. Rhino looked at his world, all tattered and torn, stood out on the ledge, and swallowed the storm. Oh my. He really is swallowing the storm. Inside his belly, he felt the storm growing. Inside his head, he heard howling and blowing. Like a tornado, he spun as the storm raged inside, growing bigger and bigger and wider than wide. When he finally stopped, when he regained control, he was at the very bottom of a very deep hole. What to do? Rhino worried as rain dripped down his face. "I'm lost and I'm lonely and in such a dark place." At just the right moment to comfort and guide him, a spider dropped down and dangled beside him. "The world up above is shattered and gray, but it's where you belong, so you must find a way to let that storm out and move through your sorrow. You'll find many helpers. on your road to tomorrow. Oh, but that hole was dreadfully deep, and the walls all around him were slippery steep. Rhino tried to climb out, but was losing all hope when Kangaroo heard him and threw down a rope. Though Rhino was heavy from the weight of the storm, they towed him right up, got him safe, dry, and warm. We're strong and steady and always ready. When danger strikes, we hop to it. Fire or flood, snow or mud, when help is needed, we'll pull you through it. Watching those heroes do what they did best gave Rhino the strength to set off on his quest. That storm he was clutching made him buzzy and blurry. It kept his brain foggy and filled him with worry. Where do I go? What do I do? How will I ever make it through? After every dark night, there comes a new day. Be kind, do your best, and you'll find your way. Up comes the sun. There are steps to complete. There isn't a map. Just follow your feet. Looks like the little bees were talking. Rhino followed his feet to a wallowing spot where he plopped on a rock and had a deep thought. I'm tired of caging the wind and the rain, exhausted from holding this anger and pain. We're all on this earth to learn and to grow. A wise old tortoise chimed in from below. Allowing yourself to start feeling your feelings is the very first step on the journey toward healing. It doesn't much matter if you're fast or you're slow. If you want to move forward, just trust and let go. Rhino shook and shimmied and stomped in the muck, and just as he hoped, the storm came unstuck. At first, one little raindrop leaked out of his eye. Then Rhino let go and had a good cry. His tears formed a river that flowed to the sea, where a pod of whales swam happy and free. I do feel better, Rhino thought as he drifted. Then up swam a whale, and Rhino was lifted. If you ever feel blue, the whale said with a spout, remember to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Sing your own song and take it deep, deep, deep. Then rise above with a joyful leap. As he floated home on a gentle wave, Rhino felt calm and strong and brave. His vision was clear like the sky above, and he looked at his world through eyes filled with love. He thanked the kind spider and the brave kangaroo and all of the others who'd helped him through. He was glad to know that if ever he lost hope, they'd lend him a hand or throw him a rope. Isn't that so special to see all of the animals gathered round? He had journeyed his journey a very long way to find the light in a world turned gray. He'd swallowed a storm with no thought to the cost. He'd felt all alone. He'd been tumbled and tossed. Life would bring changes, beginnings and ends, but he had faith in himself and faith in his friends. As they curled up together, he felt loved and protected, and he dreamed of a world that was safe and connected. He understood now it was love that mattered. Love could never be lost. Love could never be shattered. Papa closed the book and gave Micah a hug. "I know it was scary when our home was destroyed last winter," said Papa. "Bad things happen sometimes, and we can't always control that." "But we had lots of helpers," said Micah, "just like Rhino did." "That's right, little one," Papa said in his gentle way. "You're never really alone when bad things happen. There are family and friends, even people we don't know, who are always there to help us through tough times." And we see the rainbow. The end. And at the end of the book, we have a page that says, "Take a deeper look inside this book." 1. At the beginning of the book, Micah Mouse is scared by a thunderstorm. Can you think of a time when you have been frightened? Number 2. In the story, swallowing a storm is a metaphor for holding in your feelings. Have you ever had emotions swirling inside of you like a tornado? What are some ways you let them out? Number 3. Did you notice that after Rhino swallows the storm, the illustrations turn gray to show Rhino's sadness? How does Rhino learn to see the color in the world again? 4. After Rhino falls into a very deep hole, he feels lost and lonely and stuck. Have you ever felt like Rhino? What did you do? What gave you hope? 5. The whale tells Rhino to sing your own song. What are some ways you express your feelings? 6. Once Rhino lets out the storm, he is able to see his world through eyes filled with love. What are things you love about your world? 7. Rhino meets many helpers on his journey. Who helps and encourages you? How do you help others? 8. Micah feels better after reading a book with her papa. What books or activities comfort you and make you feel better? Well, I hope you enjoyed today's story, and I hope you had a chance to think about those questions that were asked at the end. In life, there are some times when we have some challenging moments, and we have to be able to deal with our emotions and not just keep them inside. Well, until we read again, take care.